Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys? I'm super happy to be here with you today. I am very grateful for you. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate that. I'm still growing my channel and I would love your help. Also, don't forget that you can hit the share button and share this video to your Pinterest if it's something that you're interested in making, but you're not ready to make it right now. Then you can keep it on a board, and then you can go there whenever you're ready, and you don't have to search through all my YouTube videos on my channel trying to find the one that it was. I'm trying to remember which one it was that you wanted to make. You'll have them right there on a board. So definitely use that option. I greatly appreciate you guys being here, and this week we are using the Ranunculus Romance stamp set. We are also using the matching dies, which are called the Ranunculus dies. They have some beautiful dies in there, and we're going to be using a few of them. We're going to be using this beautiful floral image, this one here. Of course, we're going to be cutting the rose out and this other bloom, which are those two right there. So we are using quite a bit of this die set that coordinates with the Ranunculus Romance. Of course, you guys know, if you watch my channel, that I love all dies that have shape. So these are a must-have. They are awesome. They're the tailor-made tag dies, and I adore them. And so this is the second smallest of this size that we'll be using today. And then, of course, not to be outdone, the stitched rectangles, which, like I said, if you don't have all the shape dies, get them on your wish list and start buying them one at a time, because they are well worth having. They take your cards to the next level. And as you can see here, I've used those stitch rectangles back here as a layer. And here is our tag. There is that flower there. We cut these two out, and there's that other little sprig. Now, this paper in the background is from a host set. So this is the best time. It's celebration right now, and you can purchase products and get free items. So for every $50 or $100, there's two levels. If you spend a $50, you can pick a $50 item. If you spend $100, you can pick a $100 item or two $50 items. You have options when the more you spend. So definitely check the description below. I will have all the links to the products. It'll take you to my online store, and there you will have information. You can also check my website, inkyhandswarmhearts.com. If you put in new catalog, in the description, or in where the little magnifying glass is in the search, it should pop up the blog post from July 2nd, and it will show you how to earn celebration items for free. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you how to make this card. So we're starting with a piece of 8.5 by 5.5. This is basic white, and it is the thick, and it looks like I have put it in something and gotten something on it. So this is going to be the front because we're covering it with paper. So I will go ahead and give it a nice little burnish here. And we will flip that to make that other side, that whatever I have done to it, that's going to be the front, and we're going to cover it up and no one's going to know. All right. So we're going to start with two pieces of the Design a Daydream designer series paper, and this paper is free with a $150 order, or and you get that in addition to the free celebration products. So like, you can double dip, guys. But this paper is free, or if you choose to have a party, which means you get your friends together and you all put in orders and you are the hostess because you organize it all. And then you can earn it for free that way without having to spend $150. So let's go ahead and adhere this down. I'm going to use my wet adhesive because I just want to make sure that I have a little bit of wiggle room just in case I need to wiggle this designer series paper into place. You can see the other side has these kites. It's super cool paper, so many different themes. It fits so many different styles, and you will love it. if you do not have a demonstrator and you would like me to be your demonstrator, let me know and I'd be happy to get you a catalog, talk to you about how you can get that. So I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, put this down, making sure the 3 sides are, you know, as even as they're going to get. I mean, life is not perfect, right? Let's go ahead and look at how beautiful that is. This is a beautiful paper pack. It's like, you hate to put adhesive on the other side, but I mean, you have to use all the sides, guys, because it's so pretty. I really love these colors together, so I'm going to bring that down there, make sure that our sides are straight. All right, I'm happy with that. All right, so there are our 2 pieces to form the designer series paper on the bottom. So now we're going to use the stitched rectangles. Let me grab those dies out again so you guys can see. So these are the stitched rectangles, and these are the 2 that I've used. So 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th one in from the outside, and then the 6th one in. So 5 and 6 if you're counting from the outside in. One is in petal pink, and one is in our basic white. All right, and we're gonna glue those into place because those are just gonna be added flatly onto the card like so, one like that and one like that. So let's go ahead and get our wet adhesive again, making sure that we can wiggle it into place when the time is right, when it's time to stick that down. I'm gonna go ahead and put adhesive on this one as well. And we're gonna pick them up one at a time, but that way I don't have to worry the adhesive will be in place. I'm gonna move it just out of the way. All right, so let's grab the white one and we will line it up over here. We want about, maybe right there. That looks good to me. Press that into place. And then we're gonna use our petal pink. And then this one's gonna have a border on that side. I'm gonna move this over about there. And I love that. That looks great. All right, so that's what we have so far. Let's do a little stamping, right? Let's get some stamping going on. Okay, so I'm just gonna set this card to the side. We're gonna do a little stamping on our tag. We're gonna do a little stamping on our paper here. We're gonna do a little stamping of our flower pieces right here. So let's get stamping. So let me grab a piece of scrap paper because I'm over stamping, which means I'm going off the side on this tag. The rest I won't need it for. But right here, this tag has this stamp, and you can see it's too big for the stamp. I mean, for the tag. I have just stamped it a little bit off, which is why I need the scrap paper so that I don't stamp on my desk surface. I'm gonna stamp that right down there. There we go. And then on the inside of the card, we're also gonna stamp one of those. So let's go ahead and open our card. I'm gonna move this out of the way. All right. Let's ink that up again. We're gonna put one of those right there. All right, that's it for that color. I'm gonna go ahead and clean my stamp and get this color out of the way. Let's bring in our Blackberry Bliss. So with our Blackberry Bliss, we're gonna be using on the inside this floral image right here. We're also going to be using this little kind of canceled stamp for when you mail a letter. And then we have this other stamp right here. Let's get that done. So there's the inside of our card. Looking good so far, right? All right, set it off to the side again. Now let's work on the outside of this. So let's grab this piece. We're going to need that Blackberry Bliss, and then I'll clean everything at the same time. So I'm using the words that say just for you. I'm going to go ahead and ink that up. I have 2 stamps on the same block, but as you can see, one's on one side, one's on the other. I'm going to bring this down so I can see, guys. Hopefully I'm not out of camera and you guys can see what I'm doing, and I'm not sticking my head in camera, but I just really want to get this position good for you. Hopefully I did that. If not, we have another side we can try again. Hey, not bad, not bad. I'm pleased with that. Sometimes. All right, that's it for this color. We're gonna do our rose and our floral in a minute, but let's go ahead and clean our stamp. So this Blackberry Bliss is kind of a dark stamp, so I'm gonna stamp it off until it gets fairly light on all of these pieces. And since this is a scrap paper that I'm just going to get rid of, we'll just use it up to help us when we bring in our chamois here to not have as much ink on it. It's just because I'm lazy and I don't want to wash it out very often. Okay. So let's go ahead. We're going to need this flower. We're done with that stamp. We're going to need the rose, the ranunculus rose, and we are going to stamp those onto these 2 pieces. We're going to do our rose right here, and we're going to do our flower here. Now we're going to need 2 colors, and we're going to build our image with these 2 markers. So this one's Petal Pink. It's from the Subtles collection, and this one is Pear Pizzazz, and it is also from the Subtles collection. So if you watched yesterday's video, I used 2 other colors from the Subtles collection to color this. So if you really like this stamp set, I highly recommend the Subtles collection of Stampin' Write markers because we can use them so easily to do coloring on this piece. So let's go ahead and we are gonna just use the side of our marker. We're gonna ink up our piece. Just like that. And I'm going to close it, and then I'm going to use my brush end of my Pear Pizzazz. We're going to do the leaf area, the stem. All right, and then I'm going to huff on it, which means blow. Make a fun noise, and stamp that down. All right, so there's our flower. This can be cleaned in a minute. Let's do our rose next, and then we'll clean both of them at the same time. So again, I'm going to do the rose. Now there's a tiny bit of stem up here, so try and avoid that when you're coloring your rose, because that's going to go in the Pear Pizzazz. We're going to use the Petal Pink for this rose. All right, and the rest is going to be Pear Pizzazz. So let's be real gentle here and get this stem. Trying to avoid the Petal Pink area. All right, let's huff on this rose and stamp it down onto this piece of basic white cardstock. Again, I'm going to press down and make sure that it gets nice and coated. Love that. Looks beautiful. Let's get these guys out of the way. Let's go ahead and clean off our stamps. And we are almost ready to assemble everything. We just have a couple more things to do. So let's move our stamps out of the way. Let me make some room on my desk here for me to put these guys. Okay, so we have these 2 pieces. One is this really pretty pattern, And we have the yellow, and we are going to use those to make these two banner pieced ends right here. So I'm going to grab my paper snips, and I'm going to come in just slightly from the bottom. I'm going to make a cut, and then I'm going to bring my little scissor over there, and I'm going to meet that piece, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And when I pull that away, there is my bannered end. I'm going to do the same thing here. Just going to come up slightly. And we're going to come in from one side. And then in from the other. And pull. Oops, I think I didn't get that one all the way up there. Let's see. There we go. And there we go. There is our other piece. So we can discard those pieces. So now we have those pieces ready to go. Now I have to alter these pearls that I've chosen to use right here. So they are from the pastel pearls. And as you can see here, I've colored one of these or some of these in a different color. So you can alter them. This one is sliding around kind of crazy. So you can alter them. So I'm going to use the pink ones. I want to make them more peachy. See how pink they are compared to this rose? I'll bring them up to the camera. They're too pink, and we want to make them the color of the rose. So we're going to take the Petal Pink Stampin' Blend, and I'm just going to use the brush tip here, and I'm just going to go slowly around, and I'm just going to keep depositing that petal pink color over the top of that pale or, you know, brighter pink. I'm going to move these guys a little down over here, I think. Yeah. Let's see if I can. All right. So I'm going to use these three guys here. I'm just going to kind of take some of that brighter pink away and deposit some of this orangey, or petal pink is the name of it, color. Keep going. Almost there. I think this one just needs a teeny bit more love. All right, so I'm going to bring them up to the camera for you guys to see the difference, and then we can go about assembling and cutting out our pieces. So there they are. You can see how they now match the rose compared to the pinks that are next to them. Pretty cool, right? That you can alter your embellishments. I think so. Let's move them out of the way for right now, and we are going to work on die cutting our two floral pieces. So I'm going to grab those. Let's move those out of the way. Make some room. All right. So we have these two pieces that need to be die cut. So I have to grab the dies out of the ranunculus dies. So we're going to need this one for the rose and this one. Okay. So let's bring our baby machine out. I love this guy. So cute. The mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So we need to put some plates in there. We're going to use plate number 1, plate number 2. That's been well loved. Look at all that cutting I've been doing on it. All right. And I'm going to turn it so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to try and line up these dies. So we're going to start with the rose. And once I have it where I'm happy with it, I'm going to use this little piece of washi tape. I'm going to kind of grab that there. I'm going to put my little plate over the top. I'll turn it now so that you guys can watch it go through. We're going to go ahead and get it started. Hold on to the top here. All right. So there's our rose. Look at that, awesome. Okay, let's work on our other piece. Let's get this off of here, these two little extra innard pieces. All right, and let's turn it again so I can see what I'm doing when I line this up. And then I'll put my washi tape on there, and then we can go ahead and put that adhesive on here, or the washi tape, not adhesive, but it does hold it nicely. So we're gonna pull this out. I'm gonna move that up here. I'm gonna add this plate over the top. We're gonna turn it so you guys can see what's going on, and I'm gonna start cranking it through. Okay, I'm gonna pull this guy off. I'm gonna go ahead and close my machine, get it out of the camera, and I will explain this in a second. And so here is our little flower. There we go. So we have them, they are ready. Let's put these dies away. So I will be ready. And I've also die cut this little sprig here and this one right here. So we're going to be using those. And let's go ahead and assemble our card now that we have everything cut out, stamped, and ready to go. All right. Excuse me. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to attach this little bannered piece to the bottom of my tag, and I want it to stick out, you know, a certain amount. So I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive on the back of my tag. And then I'm going to hold my banner until I have just a little bit sticking out there. And when I'm happy with how straight it is, I'm going to kind of put it down here and straighten everything out. I think that looks good. Okay, we're going to add this one, but this one's going to be glued flat. So we're going to put the tag kind of off like so. And we want to lift it a little. So we want it about there. So I'm going to slide. Let's see if I can slide it up anymore. Or if it might be down for the count. Okay. So let's go ahead and glue our bannered piece. Our yellow one. It's Daffodil Delight is the color that I've used. So we'll go ahead and place that maybe right about there. That's going to be flat. Also, this piece is going to be flat in this corner. So let me bring my silicone mat out because I don't want to make a mess with my glue. And this is the last piece that's going to be flat. The rest of them are going to be using dimensionals. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to use my tweezers. I use those whenever I don't want to get glue on my fingers. So we'll grab those. I'm going to kind of position it a little bit to the side like this. So this curl is there and this tip is close to the center and this is close to that stitch right there. All right, so there that goes. Now, this is going to be here and it's going to be popped up. It's going to be lifted up with dimensionals. So let's go ahead and add some dimensionals to it, but we're not going to take the backs off of them yet. So we're going to start up here. I'm going to put two big ones. I'm going to put another set of two here. I am a little bit heavy-handed with the dimensionals, so don't mind me. You don't have to use as many as I do, but I just really like my cards to be super stable, and dimensionals are very inexpensive. You get so many in the package that I think it's well worth it. So I'm just going to sit that like that so that I know how it's going to look where it's going to sit, and then I can figure out the other parts and pieces. So this rose is going to be kind of overlapping there, so it's going to be glued with wet adhesive there, but I'm going to put dimensionals on this section. So everything except for this set of leaves is going to get dimensionals. So I don't need that or the stem. So this section here needs dimensionals. Let's put a small one here. Let's put a small one on that leaf, and then I could think I can use the large one up here. Let's put one on this corner. I'm going to put another one, maybe another small right here, and one more right there. Okay, so those are ready. I'm not going to pull the backs off yet. I'm just going to figure out how everything is going to look on here, where it's going to live, how it's going to lay, that kind of thing. So that's what we have so far. What do you guys think? Pretty good, right? I'm happy with that. All right, so let's look at this side. Again, this one's going to lay partially on here, partially down. So it looks like everything is flat except for this floral section right here. So it's pretty small, so I'm just going to use a mini in the top and the bottom. I think I could fit a large one there. Let's see if it will fit. Yep. So we just need 3. And then that one's going to be like that. Oh, that looks awesome. Now, this one here is going to be lifted up, and it's going to be tucked behind this piece. So all of these little floral buds need some dimensionals. Now, both of them are too big. So I'm going to show you what I do when that happens. So we have this is the end of the large dimensionals. You get this kind of border, and I just use my scissors and I do a little surgery. So I just kind of cut on an angle, and I pull these pieces off, and then they end up being smaller than the minis. So I just position them a little bit at a time on my card. I'm going to use these ones here that I cut. There's another one. So little by little, I just start building the back of these pieces with these itty bitty tiny dimensional pieces. I know, a little extra, but you know, it's worth it because look at how cool my card looks. And it's handmade, so it's supposed to take time, right? So it's okay that we take our time and we make it look good, right? I think so. I'm all about that. I'm all about that life. Just a few more to go. But I really love that we can do this with the dimensionals, that we can use the borders and use those to make any size pieces that we want for our cards. We're going to do one more there. And then I'm going to gauge to see if I need any for the lower stem or if that's going to be covered. All right, so those are in place. Let me kind of bring everything back how it's supposed to look. What is sticking here? I don't know. Something's sticky on here that keeps sticking to stuff. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to put that there. This one's going to be tucked like that. Good. And then this one's going to be here like this. And then this one's going to get tucked. So this is the one that I have to check if those pieces are going to be hidden. So it looks like I need to put on a couple, just these two right here, and then I think we're good. So let's cut for one of them. There's one. Let's do the other. All right, and I think we're good now. All right, so there are all my small little parts and pieces. Looks like someone took a bite out of my dimensional section, doesn't it? It's okay. It's how it's supposed to be. Gonna put that away. I do like using those ends, so definitely use every last bit of your dimensional pieces. All right, let's start gluing this down. So we're gonna start with the tag. That's kind of the anchor. So I'm gonna grab my take your pick tool and pull the backs off of these pieces. Two more. All right, so our tag is getting put into place. Let's move the card back in so you guys can see. There we go. Sorry, I didn't mean to move it so far out. All right, so let's line it up. We're gonna put it, yeah, that looks pretty good to me. What do you guys think? I love it. Okay. One thing that I forgot is we are gonna be using some twine, and this is from the Baker's Twine Essentials pack, and it's the vanilla color. So we have vanilla, crumb cake, gray granite, black, and basic white. So we're gonna start from the back. I'm gonna make it even approximately. I think this is a little long, but that's okay. We're gonna put the loop in from the back. And then I'm gonna put these threads through that loop that I just put in there. I'm gonna yank on it. All right, and now I can push this down because I'm gonna have to trim this, but for right now, I'm just gonna leave it up and out of the way. Next, let's add our rose. So let's pull the backs off of it. This stamp set is so pretty. You can do so many different things with it. It's made for collage stamping, but I've shown you here that you don't have to only do collage stamping with it. There's many things that you can do with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this down like this. And this piece of leaf, I'm just gonna put a little bit of wet glue back there so that it stays stuck to my tag. And right here on the edge, I'm just gonna put a tiny bit where that rose is gonna be. All right, so now on to this piece. And all of this leaf area is going to get wet adhesive, okay? Where there are no dimensionals, that's where the wet adhesive is gonna be. So I'm gonna pull the dimensional backs off, and then I'm gonna attach the wet adhesive onto this piece so that it'll stick to my tag. All right, so here we go. We're gonna kind of figure out where we're gonna place it. I want to put this here, maybe right around there. I want, yeah, I think I like that. Let's put that there, and the leaf. And then we'll pull the backs off of the teeny tiny dimensional pieces. I love this take your pick tool because it gets even the tiniest little pieces off. Let me purge it. You have to purge it more often when you use smaller pieces, when you have smaller pieces, but I love using it because it gets these backs off so easy. Let's get the last two. All right, and I'm gonna put a little bit of wet adhesive on the stem at the top because it's gonna get stuck underneath there somewhere, and I want to make sure that it will have adhesive back there to get stuck wherever it's going to live, like right there. I'm happy with that. Let's not get these stuck to my finger. We're gonna lift this leaf, kind of tuck that under there. Oh, I love this, guys. Look at how good that looks. And then these here are gonna get a little bit of wet adhesive to get that to stick to my tag. Hold on to that. And then we're gonna add our Just For You. Doesn't this look amazing? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. And then the last thing are those pearls that we colored. So we're going to grab those and place them. Come on. Work with me. Make sure they have their sticky on them. I kind of slid them around, I think, when I was coloring them. Let's put this guy up here on the purple so it shows nice. Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, let's get these guys out of the way. And then we're going to trim. You see, I was a little bit generous there. Let's go ahead and trim that off. Oh, this card is awesome. What do you guys think? I love it. Ooh, I don't know if I like that. I'm going to trim this just a hair. I want a little wider there. Let's go a little wider. Take a hair off. Yes, I like that much better. Okay, so what do you guys think? I'm very happy with how it turned out. Don't forget about the Ranunculus dies and the Ranunculus Romance stamp set. I paired it together with the stitched rectangles and the tailor-made tag dies. Start your collection of your basic shapes, guys, because they make all the difference. Look at how cool this card is. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching me put it together. Leave me a comment if you've stayed to the end. Give me some thumbs up. The description has all the links to all the products. If you do not have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. Let me know that you need a demonstrator, and I'd be happy to talk to you about how it works and all the perks of being one of my customers. So thanks for joining. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping, guys!